our suspicion was confirmed that the Imo State governor has embarked on such an act of hate and misrepresentation and misinformation concerning members of my family. But shockingly enough, I also had to call the police commissioner of police, who has just recently confirmed to me a few hours ago that the order came from Abuja. So I wondered if this order actually came from the Inspector General of Police. And if it is, I'm sure the Inspector General of Police must have been misinformed. But I'm here to see what kind of offense must have committed.
My people, it's kind of time that we begin to speak out to things that are happening in Imo State between Rochas Okorocha dynasty and Hope Uzodinma. Maybe from Emeka Ihedioha to Hope Uzodinma. We have to start discussing the fact and reality. And I remember reading a book that tells me that Africans behave like animals when the power is onto them. So you said indirectly, they said, if you want an African man to behave like animal, you should give him a power. Then you will find him oppressing his own people. You will find him destroying things that he will later regret in future. Then they go further and say that if you happen to give him a gun, the next thing he will do is to eliminate his own people, to kill his own people. That is what is happening in Africa. We find it that anytime one is elevated to power, he begin to misbehave. He think that that place belongs to his own father and mother, that he will stay there till the kingdom come. That's what's happening today in Owerri. You remember the Rochas Okorocha dynasty, together with the Beriberism and all that Rochas did in Imo State. Rochas acted without court order. He was doing a lot of things that doesn't make sense. Even when I personally know Rochas, I know Rochas before he became a governor. And when he became a governor, I don't even see him, I don't know him again. So the truth is that power, they say also is intoxicating. When you are into power, the way you use power will determine the way people will see you later. Today, Rochas Okorocha, the former governor of Imo State, is crying for the masses that what they did to Uche Nwosu is not good. I look at the whole scenario, I say, who is Rochas crying out for? Is that the poor masses that you refuse to fix their road? The poor masses that you are seen as nothing? When you are governor of Imo State, they call you over, and wherever you are, people always follow you. But today, you see, the whole thing have changed against you. Now you have seen what it is when you're in power and how those people that you are maltreating feel like. Hope Uzodinma is in power today, and this is what he's doing to you. He came at his will. He picked up your man. He picked up your in-law. He actually chased you out of that Olo. Rochas, you are a senator representing Olo. You never stay in Olo. If you go to Idiato South, Oriomoma side, where Rochas, all that area, you find that erosion killing that area. Rochas, when you are governor, you have every opportunity to establish that area. At least give your people something to cry out later and say, our son, our daughter, our in-laws are there. Even the AZM that this man went to, the AZM surroundings is not well fixed. I'm not blaming Uche because he's not in power. He only been lured in power because his father-in-law is a governor, which means he used the opportunity to enrich himself. Enrich himself, forgetting that you cannot just enrich yourself and think that the masses will always follow you. One day, when the next person came, they will go after the person because you leave no legacy. What is happening today, is something that Rochas already have done to people. He has done it to Hakim. People have said that, we remember when Rochas, start chasing Hakim, doing all sorts of things in order to recover property from Hakim. Rochas established those people. They go to Hakim at will. They destroy his thing. They harass him without court order. I heard him saying court order this, court order that. Rochas, during your time, you never do that. You never see court order. Is that now that you're trying to tell us that law works in Imo State? You see, my people, I tell you one thing. When you are in power, it's good for you to think about future, because you think what will happen in next 10 to 15 years time, 20, 30 years time. When you left there, that's what matters. That's how you leave legacy. It's not what you do when you are in the power, it's what you left behind. That's what people cherish most. The legacy you left behind. Today, Rochas, you say you build some bridge, you build some underground, build road. All the road Rochas built is substandard. Nothing is working. The Olo market that Rochas wanted to build, instead of him to dialogue with the community to build the market and rent it out to people, or people should buy the shop, they will remember you for generation to generation. But you build it for yourself. You acquire the land for yourself. What would the people do? They will turn back and start rebelling. They stop you from building that. When you put work there, at night they will bring people to knock it down. This is what happened in Olu Market. And Rochas, today, you are proud going home. People are calling you Owele. I don't blame the masses, because when people are poor, they always want to get help from the rich one. And for you to succeed, keep playing with their mentality and their emotion, you will continue to keep them poor. I feel for any youth that will be fighting for this, governors, that you are for them and you are for this. You are just wasting your life. You have to start thinking that these men, they are sitting on your money. Uchenwosu, who is Uchenwosu? They are sitting on your money. Rochas, yes, Rochas have a bit money before he became a governor. Yes, I always say that. But Uchenwosu himself, these people have loaned the money that meant for you to have a good hospital, a good schools. Go to Olu area, go around Imo State, go to Uzaba, go to Akabo, go to Obo, go to all these Mbise. You will not find a standard school. You will not find a road of about 50 kilometers without potholes. These are people that we call governor. They came out and answered Owele. What do you mean by Owele? Hope Uzodinma answered. Hope Uzodinma, you have to leave a good legacy for yourself now. Because the blood that you are sucking in the Imo State does not mean that way. Like I'm saying today, you see, today is Rochas Okorocha, and tomorrow may be you, Hope Uzodinma. When you are in power, you have to be very, very sensitive. You have to use it properly in order to help your people, not to show your own strength. Do you know, I read a book that said the best strength you show to this world is the strength you build through people. I give you an example. Why people call Obi Kubana, as young as he is, people call him and know him, is because they believe that he empowers some of the youths or his friends around him. He empowered them that people can see the manifestation. But when you begin, if at all those days he's oppressing those people, we may not hear of him, we may hear of him as an arrogant man. This is what makes a man, and that's where I'm coming in. If you are a governor today, you have to work for the people. You have to think of how to invest in the people. Start from your community and expand it to other communities. Because at the end of the day, you will go back home and you see your people that will still welcome you. Today, although have gone so, I don't know, disarray because of our Hope Uzodinma. We have problems. Soldiers, youth are being killed. We heard that sometimes youth are being raided and tag IPOP or Eastern Security or things like that, and we allow this thing to happen. Those youth are the youth that will work on that land to produce something that you, governor, will use to run the state. Because a man that is up to 50 years is not expected to do some of the dirty job that youth will do. Any youth, any community or state without youth is not going to progress. So when you hold about 15 youth, think about them. They are the ones that will do the dirty job, do labor job. They are the ones that will travel from one place to the other in order to make money faster for you. And so that the country will run, the economy will run. A old man like myself now will actually withdraw with some things because I would think, oh no, I don't need this to do this. So you have to preserve your youth. You are from Olo. Olo is having problem with Hope Uzodinma. Why can't you come down and sit and tell my people, this is why we don't need this. This is why we need this. there is no power in a place that is not permanent. Even the life you have, then governorship, you have only 2 years hope. What you are doing to Rochas Okorocha today may come back to you tomorrow. It will. It will. And tomorrow, you will be a friend to Rochas Okorocha. Both of you will still mingle in the same bucket because the power is no longer on your side. This is what happened to Emeka. Emeka, immediately he was disposed from the governorship. He found out that the power is no longer with him. Those people that gingered him and asked him, do Hope Uzodinma that, do Uchenwosu that, they have left him to Hope Uzodinma. What did he do? He ran back to Rochas Okorocha. He ran back to his own shelter and become a friend to them. This is why you don't fight and kill yourself for politicians. These men, they are cabans in one common basket. When you are a leader, don't always think of oppressing one another. Always think of how you can develop your city, your country, your state, your community, how people can work with you. Today, Hope Uzodinma and Rochas Okorocha is all about cat and dog, fight.
To warrant this discretion of the church and sporadic shootings that has left a lot of people injured. I want to request for the first and last time that security agencies, presidency must look into what is happening in Imo State. This affair has relates to the government of Imo State and members of my family. This family has gone through a lot, insult and humiliations and threat to life from the government of Imo State. But I'm yet to understand what must have informed the kind of level of misinformation that must have led the IG to give such directives. Because the IG I know wouldn't direct any policeman to go to church and shoot and arrest innocent citizens. I feel that enough of this is enough. And Hope Uzodinma has been in the business of trying to get any member of my family or myself involved in this kind of his wicked acts of hatred. I think enough of this is enough. And I've called all people's concerned on this matter. And I hate to make this very public, but I'm being tempted to say the facts as they are. I don't want the police to get involved. I don't want the APC government led by Buhari to get involved in a matter like this that will tarnish the image of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Why should police go to the church to arrest people and arrest individual innocent person? What is the story they've written about him? I'm waiting to hear the story. I can assure you this will be a political motivated and cooked up story now they're going to come up with. This is one arrest too many has led to me and members of my family. There was just no justifiable reason for the police to have gone into the church to carry on such shooting exercise. Even the security attached to my family could not, because they identified the policeman. Why go to the church? Why is the shooting? Why do you have to drag the innocent boy on the floor? Why do you have to beat him up? Why do you have to push my wife? Why do you have to push my daughter? Why have to tear their clothes? There was no single arrest warrant on Uchenwosu. Nothing at all. It was like a kidnap. If not for the fact that we have confirmed that it is police, the initial fear that this was unknown gunmen that's come to kill Uchenwosu. But I don't know. The Uchenwosu I know, I don't know what story will be fabricated against this young man.
The state government is aware of the very disgusting utterances that were made today by a former governor of the state, Rochas Okorocha. And it's marks of clear panic. It looks clearly to us that he's in a panic. in a frenzy. He's in a panic because it looks like the law is gradually closing in on him.
Although it's no longer a safe place to go, because you are not sure if it's the unknown government, you're not sure if it's Eastern Security Network or IPOP or Hope Uzodinma. Everybody's at age. Could you imagine the trauma those women went through when Uche Nwosu was adopted? You can hear them calling Jesus, this and that. Think about that. If they're your mom, irrespective of whatever Uche did, during that time of sorrowful or emotional bearing of his mom, it was for us to give respect to the dead. Sometimes in America, there's some criminals, even here in Australia, there's some criminals that may be so much affiliated to their parents. When they die, they grant them access to pay that last respect to their parents. So I don't condone you going to his mom's, memorial time and arrest or interrupt people that came for the service. It is a taboo. It's not good. We all die one day, and we want at least our people to give us that final respect as much as they can. Politics, they say, is a dirty game, but Africa have made it to be evil game. Here in Australia, they play politics. Former prime minister, they sit together and have a fun. After you win, everything is gone. Everybody goes to their party. They debate ideas, not killings. The Western world debate idea. You guys travel to the Western world. If you don't travel to the Western world, you watch on television, you see them. They sit down, debate ideas. They debate, how do we generate electricity in the city? How do we create jobs so that our youth will be able to engage in something productive? How do we make sure that our roads are clean, that there will not be more accidents in the road? How do we make sure that the hawkers in the market are being provided a place safely for them to market, and they will be chased out of the street and located to that area that you have allocated for them? How will they create all the plastic bags we throw away in the street to be collected and be disposed in a very, very environmental acceptable manner? When I'm saying this, I'm saying in a normal African share. How will you engage youth so that they will be able to monitor people that dump rubbish on the street that is not meant to? This is something that you as a governor have to create. You create job to the big people, you create job to the small people. Then now you can target, how did I invite companies to have at least branch in my state, so that even though if they employ 20 people, remember it's 20 people you have taken out of poverty or on the streets. If they employ 10 people, it's 10 people that you have taken out of streets or out of poverty. How will you attract them? How do you make your environment safer so that people can see it as a place that you can live? Look at that Eziama where they adopted this guy. Look at the lands there. As a government, you have access to people's land. How can you build estate in that areas, build shopping mall, and create environment that people can actually live and walk around the areas and generate money for you guys in a safer manner? Good day, future people, wherever you're watching me from Nigeria, from outside the world, wherever you're watching, please, if it's your first time of watching this program, remember to hit subscribe so that you'll be able to see our program anytime we come online.